And we are live. Today I'm a little more ready. We're kind of just gonna we're gonna jump right into it. Every day we go around, we do a lot of stuff, we do a lot of talking, but I got some news and I just want to get it out of the way. I think they're pretty good. It's some pretty juicy stuff for the day. A lot happened today and we're gonna go over it right after we do a little prompt talking. We're practicing. We're practicing on how to talk and how to get through a wall whenever we start stalling or not speaking. I need to have a way to keep pushing forward and continue. So I got this prompt book that I'm gonna be using. What is that? Is that the line? Oh, that is the line. Okay, but I'm gonna be using to see what I want to talk about. Um, what do you think people say about you when you enter the room? Since I was a kid, all I've ever felt is judgment from people. Even through high school, like I don't know. I have this sense of not giving a flying fuck about anything. So people take that as I'm cocky, like I don't even know, bro. Like people just make up stories in their head and they look at me funny, they look at me ugly, they look at me weird. Like I've lost so many friends. Like I've given my home address to friends and they never showed up. Like, damn, bro, that's fucked up. Um, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know why people have that way. But as soon as I start talking and interacting with people, like after they meet me, at first they have this preconception of me that I've seen based on their reaction in their face. But as soon as they start talking to me, it's like it instantly it's a whole different person. It's like, wow, I actually enjoy talking to this person, right? Because I truly am invested in the conversation when I'm talking to someone. I really want to understand. I ask questions about their life. I see, what stage they're at, and that's something that really comes from my heart. So I feel like after a couple minutes in the conversation, they truly understand that and see that, and they change their mind a little bit. That's from just pattern recognition. My own pattern recognition, what I've seen happen throughout times. Let's see. Have you ever been homesick? I absolutely I miss my home country to the bottom of my heart. Like Bolivia. I would go there in a heartbeat. I would go there in a heartbeat. Go to the mountains, talk to the indigenous people, go to the small tribes in the mountains, um, learn the language, you know, dress like them, go to the festivals, go to their everything that they're doing. I have that so deep in my heart, like the music, every it makes me so homesick, so freaking homesick. I want to be there. And I came here when I was like what 12 maybe. I think it was about 12, and then I only traveled back one time. I think when I was 13, and then came back and never went back again. So it's deeply ingrained into my heart. I had 13 years, pretty much 13 years there, and uh, things just impacted me in such a way not to, and I kind of rejected it for a long time. I rejected it. I didn't want nothing to do with the culture. But eventually, once I got older and I fully understood what that whole entire world is, it is one of the most ancient cultures, the Aymara, right? It, such a sophisticated, smart, logical civilization that is still there today, that is still within the people, still in the hearts of every single soul that you talk to. And I really love that. I really love that about that place. Um, let's see. I would like to travel everywhere, every single place. But of course, I miss home. I miss my home. What can you never get enough of? Um, that's hard. I think I think I can never get enough of the Eastern Orthodox Church because it just holds so much objective truth, and my heart desires that so deeply, and I think the hearts of all humans desire truth. And the fact that Eastern Orthodox Church has been able to preserve so much of this beauty, um, it impacts my heart, and I can never get enough of it. Um, Whenever the services end, I want to stay there. I want to stay there, and I don't want to ever leave that place, uh, because it touches my soul. It touches my heart. It touches the thing that I've been searching for all of my life, right? Um, and in such a deep and profound way that at times I don't even understand myself. My life has been steps for this to understand this. Um, I used to be able to, what I thought, connect with just nature. And I thought that was it. I thought that was, the biggest thing. Um, and I realized just that's creation. I was being aware and fully conscious of creation, right? Of everything that has to do with creation, whether it's plants, humans, animals, planets, galaxies, all of that. I'm so interconnected with that, and it touches me so deeply in the heart, unlike anything ever before, right? Um, and I just needed that just one layer on top of it to give it the true meaning, which is, um the full explanation of what God is, no longer a self interpretation, an ignorant self interpretation of what I thought the universe and creation was, right? But I was given by the church the fullness of the truth, the factual breakdown of what the world truly is. And it aligned so perfectly with my own observations. I just did not have the proper terms and words for it. It truly, truly changed my life. And I cannot get enough of it. Cannot get enough of it. Cannot get enough of it at all. Cannot fill my heart enough with it. It truly, truly, it satisfies me more than I could ever think. Let's see. Now that that's out of the way, we can actually go into the. I don't know where to put this. I don't have space here anymore. We're just gonna put this here, right there. We can go into the actual news report. What? Why isn't this turning on? Oh man. I wanted to get this on as well. So we can do a double stream on Kick and on YouTube. But that's fine. That's fine. We can find another way to do it. We can review what we do every day on the stream, right? That's what we can do. I think that'll be something useful that I can put on the wall and have. We usually do the news report. That's the news report. This you come here for the news report. So that's what this whole thing is about, and I think that's what we should focus on. Let me give this thing some battery. Okay. All right. You still off? That's not you. 19%. Okay. First things first. La 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 la. We do prompt yapping. That's the first thing we usually do. Just a little yapping session to get the energy started and get the blood flowing. I guess it's like a little warm up, right? That's the warm up. Warm up. Then right after we finish talking, we go directly into the news report. News report. Right after the news report, we do the live alerts. And then after the live alerts, we do the commentary on the news. And then we usually go into searching the market. So, not searching the market, analyzing the market, analyzing the market. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then one more. We can say watching YouTube vids. That can be one thing because that's either or. And then we do journey updates. Journey updates. Okay. We were talking about yesterday how I like to do I like to organize all my notes into this systemized way, right? So if I have If I'm trying to minimize something, I will usually, if I have four or five or something, I will minimize it to three bullet points. If I'm trying to expand it a little bit and I have like four or five bullet points, we'll expand it to six. So three or six is my baseline, right? So that helps me um kind of clarify things. So I never just have random bullet points. I either minimize them or expand them. Um, and then sometimes I'll expand them even more to a more detailed way by expanding it to nine bullet points. So three, six, or nine bullet points is how I like to note things down. Um, Another way that I like to systemize things is three um my triangle so I have a triangle. So I make a triangle, and then I have 3 points at each corner, right? And those points usually always relate. We can talk about how I do my real estate, right? So at the top, we gotta find a homeowner that needs to sell their home. And then we agree on a price. So we find the homeowner, we agree on the price, and then we close on the property, right? You can see it clearly. So I this is a way that I'm able to systemize things at a very simplistic level, so to where I'm not overcomplicating it. And this can be done for absolutely anything. A workout, you have a warm up, the main workout, and then a cool down, or a cardio. You, you, you can systemize absolutely anything with just a triangle. That's my thing. That's what I've learned works for me based on all of the patterns that I've seen on my life. And whenever I use this, it brings me so much clarity and just flow, right? And then I like to use arrows to show how each element of the triangle interacts with each other. That's just what makes sense in my mind. That's something easy, simple, that I can easily understand, right? And it's also at a glance. Like I'll have this on my whiteboard, and that's all I need to know to see what step I'm in during the real estate process. Like I don't have to do so much. Right? If I'm finding a lead, if I'm finding a house, I know that all the steps for finding a house in my head, right? And then all those steps are within. So if I have the finding, all those steps have a small triangle within that triangle. So for finding a property, I have to pull the lead, whether it's through ads or buying the leads, and then I have to cold outreach them. No, I have to pull the lead, whether it's through advertising or I am actually buying the lead. Then I skip trace the lead so I can have all the contact information. And then I have either a cold caller or myself reach out to that person. And then that goes in a circle until I find a property. And then boom, we go directly. Once we find that, then we go to the next step, which is you agree on a price. So then that has its own little triangle where to agree on a price, I have to know the condition of the house. I have to know if they have any other offers. I have to know their um, urgency. I have to know how much I need to put into the house to make it market worthy. So repairs and fixing, right? All of that is in a smaller triangle that I can easily understand and think about, right? So that's how I base my life. Just triangles, 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 and then it just simplifies everything. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We might be able to expand into 9 because I just yapped about my systems. So that could be systems talk. But that one is either or as well. Journey updates. Yeah, let's just leave it at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We might need one more. This sits right here, so I can actually remember it. And now that I did a little yapping, I can actually go into the live stream and let's see. We're gonna go live on Kick. Right, we're gonna go live on Kick. But this charger is not long enough for what I need to do over here. That's where I need to be streaming. But that's fine. We'll just do it here today. Sideways, please. Apparently, I also got to. Apparently, horizontal live streaming is completely different than vertical live streaming, and I don't know if I like the vertical. I think I should like doing the TikTok and the YouTube verticals, but it's just I feel like it's just so saturated. I don't know if I want to do that. If that's more responsibility on me than I already have. Okay. Let's see how that looks. Let's pull that up. Yeah, little brightness. Kick. We gotta go to Kick. Okay. That's me right there. And then that's the. Is that the live? I think that should be the live. Yeah. Okay. So let's fix that. Whoa, I am way over. Let's see. View channel. Follow. Man, I need to start looking at the chat. I've had 2 people um type on the chat and I keep missing them. Damn, I don't wanna do that. I'm sorry, bros. I don't mean to actually, miss the chat, but Sometimes I'm on the move. I'm always on the move. But, okay. Is it hard to start a family? It just depends on who. With who. Right. This should be there, but I don't have an outlet over here. And then this one's taken up by that. I should have another charger, but I don't know where. Okay. Sorry, guys. I'm really sorry on the chat. I'm sorry. I keep fumbling the ball. Literally, I keep fumbling the ball on the chat. I keep missing the chat, and then I don't get nowhere. I'm really sorry, chat. I'm really sorry from the bottom of my heart, chat. I'll do better. From now on, I'll try to make sure I'm looking at the chat at all times. And that was such a good question, too. The one before that said, "Yo, what's up? How you doing?" or something. And then I completely missed it. And then they kept putting the meme of someone talking to a wall. They're like, are you gonna look at the chat, bro? I'm sorry, y'all. That's my bad. I need to be on top of it a little more. Is it hard to start a family? Just depends on who. The actual act of starting the family is, it's pretty easy. Just pick someone you want and pick a house and have rules and have be part of the one true church, which is the Eastern Orthodox Church. That will guide you with everything that you need to start a family. Right, in the proper way, aligned with God and aligned with the truth of life. I enjoy hearing myself. I like the feedback. I enjoy the feedback a lot. Okay. We're doing the news. We're gonna do the news. We're gonna talk about the news. See, we have a lot to talk about. We have like eight headlines today. So let's see. All right. This one might be a little long, but I think it'll be worth it. All right. Top news today. A lot has happened. A lot of unexpected things, but things are developing very, very fast. Faster than you would expect. Things like war and interest rates and AI. So I think it'll be very interesting. So we should start with the news report. But I wanted to see if this is still washed out, or we can put it over here. Actually, we might be able to put it over here. Through the back. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh no, I think I turned it off. Oh man. Oh man, now it's trying to reconnect. Come on. Not working. Reconnect attempt number 2. It's my Wi-Fi or something. I don't know. Don't know what's going on. Come on, bro. Just gonna stop it and restart it. I think that's the best way. It was only 8 minutes. So just gonna restart it. Because I think it'll be fine. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. Okay. Now it's working. Let me just make sure I don't do the same mistake again. Pull this through and around. And this. I just have so many wires hanging out here. Okay. And that's going to be a little sideways. Okay. I think that's good enough. Let's just leave it there. Okay. Good enough. My back is starting to hurt. Freaking getting old. But today's lighting is very good. I like it. I think this is a good setup. Right there. Yeah, just not touch it. Don't touch it. Don't touch it too much. All right, news report. Keep going in circles. We're here to do the news report. That's what we're here for. So let's do the news report. Quick and easy. Let's just jump right into it, right? It's a lot has been happening. United States and global major international headlines. So let's get right to it. Let's step a little back. Let's see. All right. So, top U.S. and world headlines today. Top U.S. and world headlines today. U.S. seizes oil tanker off Venezuela coast. The U.S. says it seized a sanctioned oil banker. Whoa. All right, not a banker, a tanker. Top U.S. and world headlines today. The U.S. says it seized a sanctioned oil tanker, the first known tanker seizure since its increased military pressure began, sending oil prices up sharply, escalating tensions with Caracas. It didn't say from where. Okay, I did not. I forgot to say who and who. So let's track back and say it again. Top U.S. and world headlines today. U.S. seizes oil tanker off Venezuela coast. The U.S. says it seized a sanctioned oil tanker, the first known tanker seizure since its increased military pressure began, sending oil prices up and sharply escalating tensions with Caracas. Federal Reserve cuts interest rates amid internal division. The Fed lowered rates by 0.25 to 5%. Its third cut this year, but the decision exposed uncommon dissent within the committee as members split on future economic strategy. New AI strategy from US Department of Health and Human Services. HHS released a 21-page plan positioning AI at the center of future health innovations, part of ongoing efforts following prior federal AI directives. US under scrutiny over possible pressure on International Criminal Court. The US administration has threatened new sanctions against the ICC unless it pledges not to persecute certain individuals, a move drawing international attention. Who's that individual? I tell you, Benjamin Netanyahu. That's crazy. Okay, global major international headlines. Border conflict reignites between Thailand and Cambodia despite a recent ceasefire. New clashes have forced hundreds of thousands to evacuate. The US, under Donald Trump, has pledged to intervene diplomatically. Border conflict reignites between Thailand and Cambodia. Despite a recent ceasefire, new clashes have forced hundreds of thousands to evacuate. The US, under Donald Trump, has pledged to intervene diplomatically. Ongoing the the ongoing war with Ukraine. Key developments. As fighting continues, Ukrainian forces have pulled back from some hard to defend areas, underscoring the intense pressure on the front lines. Global economy and geopolitics. Ripple effects from US Venezuela actions. The tanker seizure rattles oil markets. Analysts are watching for global fallout on energy prices and diplomatic relations in Latin America. Science and discovery, new breakthroughs. Recent major science news includes detections of one of the universe's earliest supernova and other astrophysical observations, reshaping our understanding of cosmic events. That's the news for today. See you tomorrow. Wow. Wow, Chico. Wow. Wow, Chico. That's the news for today. See you tomorrow. And what do we have? This oil thing is really affecting my investments, so I need to check that out. That's the first thing we're going to check out. Let's see. Let's read a little bit of this. It's pretty long. Damn, this article is huge. Okay. We're going to still read it. It's a pretty big article. This move is the first known tanker seizure since U.S. buildup began. Signals new effort to go after Venezuela's main revenue source. Signals new effort to go after Venezuela's main revenue source. So they're trying to directly affect them. And we have a video. I'm being told right now that through my earpiece that we have a video of the actual tanker, oil tanker being seized. That's crazy. It is such a high quality video. It looks like a movie. What the freak? Impact on global oil supply unclear. We don't know yet. We don't know yet. It just depends on how the US deals with this. This is gonna create more demand. Is our supply in the US, is it going to increase? How is this going to supply affect the supply and demand chain for oil within the US? That is really going to affect my investment, so I need to pay attention. Let's see. The US has seized a sanctioned oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela. President Donald Trump said on Wednesday, a move that sent oil prices higher and sharply escalated tensions between Washington and Caracas, the capital of Venezuela. We've just seized a tanker. We've just seized a tanker on the coast of Venezuela. Large tanker, very large, largest one ever, actually. And other things are happening, said Trump, who has been pressuring Venezuela President Nicolas Maduro to step down. That's all they want, for him to step down, because he, there's a lot of things that Maduro has done that some people agree with, some people disagree with. Is he a good guy? We don't know. Is he pushing his luck? I'm sure he kind of is. He's been there. He's been in power for a while. That's what people seem to be suspicious of. But we also need to understand it from his point of view. We talked about this on the previous streams. Israel and Hamas. We have to understand both sides of the picture. We understand why Hamas feels that way and why they are pulling their people, the Palestinians, into a war. That's Hamas. But we also understand why Israel is doing everything that they're doing and creating false propaganda for their citizens, therefore creating hate between all the people, right? It's this specific group of people that is expanding onto their population with just completely um different narratives, and that clashes, right? We need to understand both sides and have full compassion of both sides. Both sides. Yes, both fucking sides. Both sides. Because that is the only way that you move forward. Same thing with Venezuela. What is going on with actual Nicolas Maduro, right? We need to understand fully. He wants the best for his country. Whether he's doing it in a democratic approach, no, no, right? Absolutely not. He's not doing it in a democratic approach. But we also can compare the president of El Salvador and how he is running things. I believe he actually just tried to extend the president's term. I need to let's look at there right now. Um, let's see. Expand presidential terms. El Salvador. Let's see. Yes, it is El Salvador. So he tried on July 31st, 2025. He's trying to expand the presidential term from 5 to 6 years. And the vote passed overwhelmingly 57 in favor, 3 against. Do you understand the odds? So he is doing things right and doing it properly, right? He set up the infrastructure. He provided proof of what is truly possible under his control, under his presidency. And then he asked, and then everybody saw the proof and then agreed, right? Now Maduro in Venezuela is not doing that. right? He is putting people in power, and the people are not happy. The currency is going down, so all of these things are adding up. There's hunger, right? There's people that are not well within the country that are complaining, and usually the complaining voice is louder than the beneficial voice, right? He's doing a lot of things that are good, right? He is doing live streams of everything that he does. When he passes laws, he says his whole cabinet in the live streams. He does weekly updates, right? He is systematically um being open with everything that he does, but he doesn't do it fully. But he is such a patriotic guy. He wants to do the best things for his country. He just not going about it in the right way. And that is why the US is obviously that that's their main excuse to go after their oil. Because that's truly what the US wants, right? If you're gonna go after somebody, it's gonna have a benefit for the US. You're not just gonna go out and spread democracy just for the fun of it. They would have done that everywhere already, but they only do it if there's a benefit. Same thing that happened in the Middle East. We went in with the idea and the image and the sugar coating, but underneath we had the cavities. What was actually there, right? We're seeing the exact same thing with Venezuela. We have a president that is trying and doing his best, but he's doing it in the wrong way. It's just really hard to do what they're trying to do. Let's see. Let's keep reading. Where was I? Um, we've just seized the tanker on the coast of Venezuela. Large, large tanker, very large, largest one ever. Um, hopefully, hopefully he did this with full mind of the price of oil, crude oil, specifically WTI, West Texas Index. Um, in response, the Venezuelan government, in a statement, accused the U.S. of blatant theft and described the seizure as an act of international piracy. It said it would denounce the incident before international bodies. Whoa, that that's big. Now that is big. They're pretty much saying it's not a sanction, not a sanction. Who the fuck? Who are you? Who are you, United States, to come over here and tell me what I'm doing, what I need to do, and take my things away? You just all of a sudden, because you're the big guy, you're putting me in timeouts. They're saying, fuck no. No, that is theft. That's what they're saying. This we don't like this. You're stealing from us. Stop it. Bad boy. That's what they're saying to the US. Trump has repeatedly raised the possibility of US military intervention in Venezuela. The seizure is the first of a Venezuelan oil cargo amid US sanctions that have been in force since 2019. It is also the Trump administration's first known action against a Venezuelan related tanker since he ordered a massive military buildup around the region. So he sent a bunch of his bodyguards over there, and now he's taking things like, we need to understand both perspectives always objectively, right? Because we are not in the shoes of one or the other, but both at the same time. That way, we have an objective perspective of what is truly going on, not just what one side is saying, not just what the other side is saying, but an actual truth to it, right? Just that's what we're looking for. We're looking to understand the actual things going on in the minds of these people, what their thought processes are, what their cognitive bias is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Let's see, what other things do we want to see? Mm, we want to see this. This one's big. U U.S. threatens new ICC sanctions unless court pledges not to persecute Trump. I did not expect that one. Did not expect Trump. Washington wary of ICC action against Trump officials after his term end in 2029. Damn. ICC, International Criminal Court, is wary of ICC action against Trump officials after his term ends in 2029. US also wants ICC to drop probes into Israeli leaders and US troops. ICC jurisdictions include persecuting sitting heads of states for alleged crimes. That's what is that telling us? That's telling us something big. I think I think that's the needle in the haystack. Something so subtle, but so big. It's kind of like admitting faults. It's kind of like the same thing that Biden did as soon as he left off. Well, the day that he was gonna leave office, the freaking day, he pardoned so many family members. He pardoned so many people from his um office. That's crazy. And we allow this. We allow this to happen. So to me, that is an admitting fault. Because if you know it's not true, why worry? Yes, come after me. Everybody, everyone, come after me. Do I care? No, because I know the truth of the freaking facts and how things played out. Who knows it? Me. So if you want to create a case, waste all this money, waste all this efforts, go ahead. But literally many years before they even go after him, he's already setting himself up to be like, no, do not even try. Do not even start the process. Because in 2029, I don't want to hear about this. That's what he's saying. He's saying, please stop it now. Before you start, before you keep digging into it. So to me is admitting fault. But can he redeem himself? Can the Israeli leaders, Netanyahu, redeem themselves? I'm sure they can. I'm sure they can. They just have such a freaking deep ego that is so hard for them to do. So hard for them to do. Something so simple that you can redeem yourself with your actions while you're still in power, while you still have the ability to actually change things and do things and act, but yet you don't. But yet you're stuck and you keep digging yourself into another hole deeper and deeper and deeper. Why? Same thing with Trump. Same exact thing that Netanyahu is doing, Trump is doing. They're freaking buddy buddies. They're buddy buddies. They're buddy buddies. And they have the chance to redeem themselves. Yet they won't. They won't because they have such a big ego. That's such a big problem. That's such a big, huge problem because it doesn't help anybody. It does not help anybody. Let's see. Let's read it from the beginning. Let's read it from the beginning. President Donald President Donald Trump's administration wants the International Criminal Court to amend its founding document to ensure it does not investigate the Republican president and his top officials. A Trump administration official said, threatening new U.S. sanctions on the court if it did not. So they're looking to sanction. They're looking to sanction the court if they don't stop the investigation. What? What? So you're threatening an international criminal court and telling them to stop and do not investigate the Republican president and his top officials. Both perspectives, right? Having both perspective. Why are they saying this? Why are they saying this? We fully understand why the ICC would do this, right? There's clear violations. There's very clear violations. So why would they want to stop that? We have to find the logical way that makes sense to why they would want this. Why would you want this? Why? Let's think. Let's think. Let's think together. Let's think together. Let's see. Why would a sitting president want a criminal court to stop investigation on him, his administration, the leaders of a foreign country, Israel, and their lobby? They just want they just want they just want to do it. We Not even trying to be sarcastic here. Like I genuinely want to understand you. We have to understand both sides of the picture to have an objective perspective and find the truth. Let's keep reading. Maybe it'll tell us a little more about their motivations to wanting to do this. If the court does not act on this U.S. demand and two others, dropping investigations of Israel leaders over the Gaza war and formally ending an earlier probe of U.S. troops over their actions in Afghanistan, Washington may penalize more ICC officials and could sanction the court itself, the officials said. You're not creating a good image that I can vouch for your side. It's making it very hard, actually, making it very hard. Sanctioning the court would significantly Sanctioning the court would significantly escalate the US campaign against the ICC, which has long been criticized by the US officials, including both Republicans and Democrats, who say the court infringes on US sovereignty. We just found it. We just found the reason. So they feel like they are being their freedoms are being infringed on, right? But that doesn't explain why it would include Israel. Okay, Trump's administration, his administration, and the United States troops in Afghanistan, which we know by just pure account of the actual people that were there. They were civilians. There was looting. There was stealing from stealing women, right? There's a lot of things that happen. So we know that they have clear violations. So they're basically saying, hey, we have a line that is our liberty, and within this line we can do whatever the freak we want. That's what they're saying. They're saying whatever we did in Afghanistan is our problem. It's our problem. Do not get involved with it. Do not deal with it, because if you step one foot in there to judge us, you are infringing on our sovereignty. That's what they're saying. But that still doesn't explain why Israel and why the leaders of Israel are in even in discussion, right? If you're trying to protect your sovereignty, it would be about the US. Come on. It would be about the US. What does Israel have to do with this? With the US sovereignty? The Zionist lobby? Maybe. Maybe they're so interconnected that if you're infringing on US sovereignty, you're infringing on Israeli sovereignty. Maybe one leads to the other. Maybe once you start investigating the US, you'll have more evidence to go after Israeli leaders, which they already have. They already have a full case. But yet, he's still being invited into the White House, still being flown in into the White House and given special treatment. They just want their freedom. Please, ICC court. Please, please, International Criminal Court. Do not come near me, because you will infringe on my sovereignty. The Trump's administration, speaking on the condition of anonymity, said Washington, has communicated its demands to the ICC members, some of whom are U.S. allies, and has also made them known to the court. The United States is not a party to the Rome Statute that establishes the ICC in 2002 as a court of last resort with the power to persecute heads of states. It's not a party of the Rome Statute. So the Rome, what does that mean? The Roman government established the ICC statute, statutes, okay, I read that wrong. Statutes, statutes, the Roman statute that established the ICC in 2002. So they're saying, Rome, get away from us. But yet, here's the ignorant part. Yet, they will go after Venezuela, but they don't want other people coming after them. It's real mature. It's real mature. The demand and the threat to resume the U.S. sanctions campaign toward the court have not been previously reported. Yeah. The administration fears action after Trump's term ends. That's a clear given. ICC judges issue arrest warrants for Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, former Israeli defense and Hamas leader. So all of them, they're all, yeah, no shit. They are all Hamas, Israel, and Trump. Trump could have been the prettiest little girl walking into office, doing his little dance, moving the money around, so helps the US citizens, putting his ego aside like he was doing. But no, he had to get involved into something that wasn't his, because his best friend Bibi has so much dirt on him that will hurt his ego. It won't hurt. It will not. I guarantee you, whatever Benjamin Netanyahu has on Trump will not affect anything as much as denying it and hiding it and being completely deceptive is doing. I guarantee you, if you just put your ego to the side and you said, damn it, I fucked up, but here's what I'm doing to fix it, and here's what I'm looking to do for the actual people, to help and aid and create change. But no, egos are so freaking big. They're huge. They're massive. Massive, I tell you. Massive. He does not want to be wrong. He doesn't want to be wrong. He doesn't want to be looked. He doesn't want to be looked at in a bad way. Why? Because he's already raised himself up on a pedestal. And now the fall from that pedestal is high. And it's scary up there. It's scary to be in a pedestal. It's terrifying. He's building a tower that is not stable. That no matter how he's trying to glue it together, it is still sitting on bad foundation. So whatever you try to put on top, which is his dream and his desires of being great, being this great leader, having this great legacy, being this person of influence since he was a kid, since he was trying to build up the train yard. Do you remember that? What happened to that? What happened to that train yard? Now that you have all the power in the world and all the money in the world, where's that train yard? City. That beautiful city across the river that would challenge New York. Where is it? That's his dreams and desires. Being this great real estate developer. Being a great president. Helping the people. It all comes falling down from this huge pedestal that you've built yourself because you have a huge ego. You have put yourself in a pedestal. And now, because you won't let go of your ego, that pedestal is so unstable. And others, other leaders, other evil leaders are trying to take advantage of that goodness that you have in you. They're trying to take advantage of everything that you've tried to build your whole entire life. And what happens to that when you're in the high pedestal? The fall seems hard and seems far and seems dangerous. And the other people know that. The people who are manipulating him know that. But yet, That's what the ego does. There's nothing there's nothing harder than destroying your ego, your dreams, and your desires. It's hard. I cannot imagine what he's going through. So, have to have compassion. Compassion for both sides. Compassion for both sides. So, it is hard to drop your ego when you're already in that high pedestal. Put it back down. And start from there. And actually build a solid foundation. Actually put the proper things in place. Search for the right pieces that will create stability. The proper pieces that will prop you up. It takes a lot to do the right thing. And find the right arrangements. Building things slowly, consciously, not from ego, where other people can manipulate you. That's all. That's big. That's a big thing. That's a big thing. It's a huge thing. But that's the news for today. That's the news for today. Now, let's quickly check the markets. Where's my paper? We didn't even do the alerts. We did not even do the alerts. Let's do the alerts. A lot of things happened December 9th. Israel approved hundreds more houses in 3 settlements in the occupied West Bank. We know this. It's a small takeover. Iceland, not that it's bad inherently. It's just what it is. It's just what it is. It's not just moving people there. It is just what it is. Not evil by the people, by the citizens, but there's a clear strategy that it's clear as day. Iceland becomes fifth country to boycott Eurovision over Israel's participation. UK sanctions Russia and Chinese firms suspected of being maligned actors. South Korea scrambles jets as Russian Chinese planes enters air defense zone. They're getting pushed into a corner and they're getting pissed off. Russia and China. BRICS. The whole of BRICS is getting pissed off. Top Indian arms makers held rare meetings in Russia on potential joint ventures. Yes, I just said it. I just said it. BRICS is getting pissed off at the unfairness that we've talked about today. It's complete unfairness. Just just on what we see. Just on the clear fact that the ICC has seen clear violations, and now the administration is saying, nope, don't try that. Look the other way. So it's like, so BRICS, Russia, China, Brazil, India, is like, dude, they're pissed. It's like seeing, it's like having your parents only see the good things that the bad kid is doing. But then when they do a bad thing, it's like, oh, what? I was looking the other way. I didn't see anything, so I don't know anything. It's like Phineas and Ferb. Have you ever watched Phineas and Ferb? And how freaking crazy Candace gets. Because it is right there. It's right there. All of it, it's right there. But yeah, just look the other way. Convenient, always so conveniently, it just happens to something happens where the attention goes, and now the bad kid, oh, it's the little angel, the US and Israel, oh, little angels, just doing democracy as they should, just just playing the capitalist game. That's it. Just just play Monopoly. Just that's all they're doing. They're just playing Monopoly. They're just playing the Monopoly game. La 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 la. And then Russia, China, India, they're like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? Does anybody else see this? Anybody else see this? Last alert. Russian military aircraft crashes in Ivanovo region with 7 crew members on board. Wow, there's a lot of Russia today. Russia, Israel, Russia, Russia, Israel. In here, BRICS, NATO. bullshit. So much just crap that can be avoided if we put all our egos aside. But that's hard. That's hard. You know who put their ego aside? That's who put their ego aside. That's who put their ego aside. They said, nope. 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 I don't care if I die. Humiliate me. Put me through whatever you want. Even though I'm innocent. Even though I'm innocent. You say I did this. So do it. So put me on the cross. Put me up there. Kill me. Stab me. I'm willing to do it. To show the way of what is possible for a human. What is possible? To show the way of what can be done. Reaching full human potential. Full human potential. A clear path laid out. A clear paved road. He talked the talk. And he walked the walk. So that we may do the same. Because through that path is the path, the only path, the narrow path that leads us to the green pastures. I don't make this shit up. I don't make this shit up. I just see it and recognize it. That there's a pattern. No ego. Pure innocence. Clear paved road for you to do the same. I have a feeling. For false Christs and false prophets will arise and perform signs and wonders to lead astray, if possible, the elect. But be on guard. I have told you all things beforehand. But in those days, after that tribulation, the sun will be darkened, and the moon would not give its lights, and the stars will be falling from heaven, and the powers in the heavens will be shaken, and they will see the clouds, the Son of Man coming with great power and glory. And then he will send out the angels and gather his elect from the four winds, from the ends of the earth to the ends of heaven. Trump still time. Netanyahu is in a deep, deep hole that he has to dig himself out of. But Trump still have time. Netanyahu is fighting against the current. There's time, there's compassion. But Trump is still with his feet in the water. You still have time to take your feet out of the water. You still have time. To not be that false messenger. Don't be that one. Be the one that you know you can be. Be the one you've always wanted to be since you were a kid. Since you were a kid. That person is still capable of fixing everything. Still capable. Still doable. You still have a chance. We went over a lot of things today. We went over a lot of things. So, I think now we go into the Markets. Just go into the markets. This is a very cute little thing I have to stream. This is what I used to live stream every day on Kick. We do IRL live streams. Same handle everywhere. Mr. Hugo Balance. On Kick, on Instagram, on YouTube. If you would like to build your company, if you're a contractor, service pro, or just a builder, just a business owner, we have a client acquisition system that you can take advantage of. We built this over the years with a lot of data, research, and we've put it all out for free. We made all of it available to the public entirely for free. There's no paywall. There's no contact information that you need to input to access it. It's all entirely free. You can go to the site. We have a free course. You can take a quick quiz to see where you are, where you want to go, and find out how to get there. You can sign up for a quick business audits and evaluation to one-on-one private, and it's free. You can download all the tools, resources, and steps necessary to grow your business. It's exactly the same thing we use for our clients for you. All of it is there for you. The entire steps that we use, if you want to do it by yourself. If you want it done for you, 100% hands off, client acquisition system for getting bookings on demand, you can go to imaginebizhelp.com. And if you want all the free tools and the steps, you go to free.imaginebizhelp.com. We're looking to do complete open source on all the information that we have. We've put it together into an easy to understand format and shared it with the world. If you want us to spend our time and efforts to help you, we can do that as well with our Done For You program that you can find at imaginebizhelp.com. But if you just want the free tools and do it all by yourself, free.imaginebizhelp.com. We really want to help people. We really want to help people. That's our whole goal. If we can help you, it is going to increase the economy. Maybe when we're building these quantum cities, we'll need infrastructure. And those same businesses that we helped can be there now, already scaled up, grown, able to take the level of projects that we're going to have with the quantum project. Quantum is a nonprofit. We do research and then we do development. All completely reinvested from the profits of all the businesses that we have. Starting now, the first steps we're taking is growing uglyproperty.deals, where we buy houses, we renovate them, and we put them back on the market. Simple as that. And then within that shell, we have the construction company. We do bones and all. That's the company name, because that's what we do. Build houses and infrastructure from the ground up, from the bones and all of it. Bones and all of it. So that's the rehab wing of uglyproperty.deals. And then the rehab wing is just simple. uglyproperty.deals/rehab. That's the first step to doing all of it. And the whole profit goes directly into being reinvested. That's the goal. That is the goal. God willing, everything goes well. Glory to God, and have mercy on me. Let's go into the markets. Some things happened today. Hopefully, I saw oil move in my direction and then switch, but it just, I don't know how it's gonna work out. Let's see. We start with Bitcoin. I don't want to start with Bitcoin. Start with gold. Gold. I've talked enough on how I understand market structure and how I see price action. So if you want to see that, go to the previous live stream. Go to the past episodes that we've created. I think you'll you'll understand it. You'll have some clarity on the charts, right? Because I think that's also something that should be open source. It should be completely open source on clear understanding and knowledge of the markets, not just for day trading, not for the being trendy and just because TJR is doing it and making it mainstream. No, I've been doing this for freaking years. Since straight out of high school. I think I was still in high school when I started trading. This is the core, literally the core of everything that we do. Everything, the core. So I think it is key and the markets. So if you want a further breakdown, we are already at like almost 2 hours. So this is just my daily checkup on the markets. This is the only time I look at the markets. I base my trades off of this. Gold, beautiful extension right here. We're pulling back to a liquidity area. So bottom of the contraction to the extension, that's the swing. The contraction always needs to be smaller than the extension for us to have a trend. So that's what we see right here. Contraction all the way to a liquidity point. Then we can expect an extension or a deeper contraction. Liquidity point usually gives us an exchange of momentum from the sellers to the buyers. There's a literal exchange of price happening. Sellers are executing orders for the buyers. Price and orders are being exchanged. So that's why price pulls back to that area, the liquidity area where people can exchange whatever the asset is. That's how the market moves. Simple market structure. Okay. We're looking on the bigger picture. Once we enter right here, we had a clear break, a retracement to liquidity, and we're looking for an expansion to cross this swing high, and then eventually we'll be crossing this other higher time frame swing high, which is I believe the all-time high at the moment. It will create a new all-time high. Oil. Oil played out perfectly, beautifully. I mean, gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. We had the swing to swing, swing to swing, mark the charts. Price went all the way and pushed way past the take profit. Now we are retesting this liquidity area further up, and price is still rejecting. So we know that will continue down. Right now, we just want to watch out. If we break this, we know that price wants to retest this previous area. So keep an eye on this red line, 59.17. If price breaks above this, it will retest 60 again. It needs a different price to exchange on. As we know, liquidity is an exchange. where sellers become buyers become sellers. Same thing. So right there, just looking to push price down. We still have higher high, lower high, lower high. We're still in a trending pattern. That's what we want. It's good. Bitcoin. Okay. Now this is what I like. Some challenge, a little challenge. So on higher time frame, perfect, beautiful. Price is pushing up. Expansion, contraction, all the way to a liquidity point. On lower time frame, we see the exact same thing. Expansion, contraction. Right here, we build a floor where price is trying to grab liquidity. This clearly the bottom, and this is clearly the top. And then price is grabbing liquidity right here. We'll see how it reacts. If the exchange, the sellers gain momentum or the buyers gain momentum, depending on the exchange and what happens at those liquidity areas. Looking to break above this green and keep pushing up. If not, if sellers take over and start liquidating their positions, we'll see it drop to around 88.38 and then keep pushing down to grab further liquidity to around 87.45, because if we were to see a downward trending pattern, it would be around 74.316, which we're nowhere near at. So we are not in a bearish market whatsoever for Bitcoin. It is complete bullish. We're just grabbing some liquidity, waiting for that exchange to happen. Yesterday we heard of the news that banks are making it easy to invest. And BlackRock has like almost 3.9% of the entire Bitcoin freaking limits. That's a big percentage for BlackRock to have, a huge investment company. So it goes to show exactly how and where we are makes sense, because these corporations are buying where the exchange is happening at the liquidity point, and they are gaining momentum for the buyer's side. So demand will go up right after this move, right after we stabilize this. If it goes below this red line that we talked about, 74, it will probably go down to around 60. But it's highly unlikely based on previous market structure that we've seen. We see expansion, contraction, all the way to a liquidity point, and then buyers take control of momentum, and then it just expands. Hopefully to never come back to the 90K ever in the world, which I think will happen based on previous market patterns. It's all a prediction. It's all prediction based. Trading has everything to do with risk management. How much percentage of your capital are you willing to risk for your winners to wipe out the losers? Do that consistently. You win more than you lose with your small edge. It's not that complicated. Not that complicated to trade. Just rules-based, consistent psychology. Not gambling up or down, buy low, sell high, but your actual capital accounts. Risk small, win big. You can if you risk small, you can afford to lose several times, meaning you can afford to be wrong several times. So what does that mean? You don't need to fully understand the markets and all the supply and demand and all the technicalities of it. Just have one edge. Price breaks, enter. There's a million entry types. Pick one. I have my own strategy that I've developed over time that I like, that I feel safe inside of. But trading is not about the markets. It's not. It is about consistent risk. Because if you have consistent risk, you're able to manage your wins. So if your wins will always outweigh your losses. If you lose 5 times and your risk is always small, you have one winner that is 6 times. It will wipe everything. 6 times meaning 6x. A return of 6x. It will wipe out everything. That's the point of trading. You do that consistently, you grow your account, you have more to invest, and that's it. So, glory to God. Have mercy on me. God willing, this goes great. See you tomorrow.